Welcome back, episode 86 of Franco's World. Just me today. Next week, gonna have a great comedian on, Zilla Vodness. She's a really funny comic. I did a Zoom gig with her, and I was infatuated with her material ever since. She is absolutely hilarious. I love her voice. I could listen to her talk for hours. She's got that classic, New Yorker, Puerto Rican accent. I just can't get enough of it. So I'm excited to bring her on. We're going to talk a lot about romance movies and rom coms and stuff like that. She's basically a cinephile. She loves movies, so she'll be great to talk to. So make sure you check her out. And remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Franco's World _. Real quick thing. I wanted to extend some gratitude your way. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to the show. Without you, it would be nothing. I mean, I would still do it, but it wouldn't be as fun if I didn't know I didn't have this many people listening to it. And we have more downloads this month than we did the whole month of November already, halfway through this month. And we have more than November. Absolutely crazy. December was a bananas month, so I don't know if we'll pass that. But I mean, it was. I have nothing to say but thank you. I mean, I appreciate it a lot sending the show to people, helping it grow, getting the word out. That's what it's all about, guys. So thank you very much. I'll make sure to continue to produce quality content. Now, me producing content, put it on social media, it requires me to be on social media all the time. Okay, and you learn a thing or two. You learn how to navigate around social media sites, sly, sneaky. You know, say I start talking to a girl, and say my friends in my group message are like, "Well, let's see her." You know, so what I have to do is, and everyone has had this scenario where they have to sneakily go into the Instagram page, try not to get caught on any tripwires, aka like a picture from 2 years ago. That's terrifying. That is nightmare scenario. You trip over the wire, the building blows up, you die, you look stupid. She never responds to you again. Okay. So you go in there, Ocean's 11, you got to plan this thing out. Go in there, find an old picture, make sure it's a good one. I don't understand why people say that to me. So it's like somebody will show me a picture of the girl they're talking to, and they'll say, well, that's just not a good picture of her. Then what is? Then what is a good picture of her? This is her Instagram. You don't think she's tried 8 different poses, maybe 2 different outfits, all camera angles and lighting are correct to put up the photo? If this isn't a good photo of her, what is? Maybe she's got a swimsuit on, working on that summer bod, you know? She didn't gain the quarantine 15. She looks great, but it's still not a good picture of her. I don't know. I don't know who's more at fault there though. The guy for being insecure because he's afraid he's going to get roasted by his friends, and maybe if you deliver it with a little bit of sympathy first and you say, "Well, that's just not a good photo of her." Then the guys will be show some mercy. But if you get up there and you're like, "Hottest girl I've ever seen, bar none, 10," you know? And then you get roasted, it's going to recalibrate your brain. You're going to think maybe I don't have a good gauge as to what a good looking woman is. It's going to absolutely put your brain in a pretzel. That's just not a good photo of her. It's her Instagram. You should see the things that I do before I put a photo up on Instagram. I have my music playing in the background. It's like that music that you hear at stores where you can't afford anything. It's that good house music stuff. I have the camera set in front of me. I don't have a tripod, so I have to find maybe something hard to set it up against. Put it on top of a couple pillows to get the height right because I'm a tall man. You know, I make sure it's good before I send it out to the masses. So if you don't think that's good, a good photo of her, maybe she's not the one. All right, that's a word of advice to the fellas out there. So I go on the page, I go on her Instagram page, and this isn't anyone in particular. This is just, the whole scenario. You go on the page, Ocean's 11 style. You're trying to figure out, how do I not get caught? I have the hands of a brain surgeon when I'm on someone's Instagram at 2 a.m. I'm one finger scrolling, just slowly, methodically matriculating down the page, making sure I don't like anything. Finally, you find the right one, and you screenshot it. And when you screenshot it, you get the feeling like, you get the feeling like you just cut the cord of a bomb. and it's the green wire, and you're safe. And then you get that you get on her Instagram page and you go to screenshot it, but then you accidentally click the comment button and you're like, oh no. And your whole life flashes before your eyes. Oh no. You think, oh my god, I'm dead. I've been caught red-handed. Oh my gosh. You have the hands of a brain surgeon. And then that slip up. Oh, I got the red wire. Oh no. Oh man. I know that feeling all too well. You click the comments, you're like, oh no. But then all you see is just a bunch of things that say, you look great, girly. Oh my God, I wish I could be you. And then you're like, okay, I'm safe. I didn't like it. You successfully back out of the page and you wipe the sweat from your brow. You have successfully completed the heist. I'm a successful creeper. And that's what I do. I live on the internet. I have to. It's imperative that I do so. You know? That's just what I have to do. And when you're sending this stuff to your friends, if you're a guy, send it to your girlfriend, or if you're taking a picture of a girl and you send it to your guy friends and vice versa, it's a players only meeting and it stays in the clubhouse, and that's how it should be. I have never ever had a screenshot of a group message get put on the internet. You can't trust that person, anybody in that group, for letting it happen. Also, for them standing idly by. You can't trust someone like that. If they are allowing that sort of behavior, to go on in your quote unquote friend group, then they're not really your friend. It's a players only meeting, folks. It stays in the clubhouse. No comments. Never had it, and that's one thing. So thank you. If you're my friend, if I'm in a group message with you, thank you. Because I would ostracize you if you ever sent anything out there to the public. But I'm on the internet all the time. Okay? And in my working on the internet, you see a thing or two that kind of bugs you. See a thing or two that irks you. One thing that's been irking me lately are the people that say, I don't know, they say like, I was born in the wrong generation. Or I'm an old soul. You know what I mean? Can't stand the people that say they were born in the wrong generation or they were an old soul. And really all these people do that say they were born in the wrong generation or say they were an old soul, all they really do is they just like the good things about the past times. Maybe they like the clothes or the movies or the music. That's it. They don't necessarily like what it's like to live in that time period. Think about it like this. If you tweet out, you say, I was born in the wrong generation. Take a step back, look at yourself in the mirror, and realize you just tweeted this out. Tweeted, which didn't exist in the 60s. You tweeted this out on an internet app that's on a cell phone that has every device known to man of it, and it can fit in your pocket. Those cell phones get signal from the towers, and maybe they connect to a satellite in outer space. Were you really born in the wrong generation? You have this technology and this capability. This did not exist in the 60s, okay? You were not born in the wrong generation. And furthermore on that, maybe you would have been a jerk in the 60s as well. Think about it like this. Like, if what really drives you to think you were born in the wrong generation was the music, then probably in the 60s, you would be like, oh, I was born in the wrong generation. I'm more of a 50s guy. Elvis, he's just the man. The 60s just didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? Elvis was the original WAP. Elvis, if you don't like WAP now, and you think music back in the day was much better, Elvis was the original WAP. They used to shoot him on TV cameras from the waist up because they thought his gyrating hips and loose legs were too provocative for the eyes of television. So he was the olden time WAP. They didn't even show his body on TV. I imagine if you were back then watching Elvis, you'd be like, you know what? This music doesn't do it for me. I like I like the 1930s music the best, or the 20s. Let's do some ragtime stuff. It's just better music. I don't know where you go from that. For past that, I don't know if you're in the 1800s and you're like, I like 1632 Gregorian chants. Those music just suited me better as a person. It just doesn't make sense. And if music isn't your thing, and maybe you like the culture or the idea of what life was like back in the day, I can't take you seriously. You're the late if you say you were born in the wrong generation and I know you and you work at the counter at Jamba Juice, this you wouldn't have a job. Do you get that? So you would be punching fruit outside. That's how you would mash up the fruit in the 1700s. Just because you like the Beach Boys doesn't mean you belong in the 60s. You know, if you have a blender, you should be thankful for the technology that you have. I just don't understand why people think they were born in the wrong generation. I think all the capability and technology and all the information that we have now, I think this is a great time to be alive as far as the information you can gather. Yes, the country's in turmoil and we have a lot of issues going on, but as far as the access to technology and the access to information, and I'm thankful to be alive and breathing. That's just my thought. I do want to get a little bit of a political take in. So if you're not looking forward to that, I'm sorry. It's not about any candidate in particular. Granted, it does have the word Biden in it, but Biden is supposedly introducing this new thing where people can get, I don't know, $15 an hour. I think that's a good idea. I think the prices of things are already going up, and they will go up a little bit more. But I think that people should be making more. It should be a livable wage. And people say they like to throw the burger flipping thing a lot. They like to do that as like sort of like a peon work. But these people were quote unquote essential, and you were protesting over the fact that they were shutting down these quote unquote essential businesses, and you were protesting that they should be able to go to work. But now you're like, well, they can go to work, but not make that much money. It doesn't make sense. And I have another point to the burger flipping thing. Do you not think big businesses also take advantage, not even necessarily big businesses, small businesses alike, take advantage of the ability to pay workers a low wage? My first job out of college, I was a professional baseball scout. And I am here to tell you, folks, I made $8 an hour. I had a degree. This is my first, I worked in an office and I made $8 an hour. Obviously, I made more as the season went on, but I started at 8. 8. Okay? I had a degree. I'm not flipping burgers. I work in an office. I my I just it doesn't make sense to me. So I've seen that side of it. And my parents run a small business. And I see that side of it too. It might be a little bit harder for them to pay people more money, but I don't think they're complaining about it. I think it's a good thing to have people make more money. And I tell you what industry that's going to be happy about people make more money. The cruise line industry, folks. The cruise line industry. If you're an old listener of the show, you understand my disdain for the cruise line industry. I will never step foot on a cruise, even if it is to do a gig. I will turn down the free trip to Aruba and the ability to perform stand up every night solely out of principle. So new money loves a cruise because cruises make regular people feel like they are fancy. Cruise lines need minimum wage to go up to like $25 an hour. Cruises love nothing more than people, droves of people that think they have a lot of money. And I don't think sitting on a portable toilet in the middle of the ocean for 2 weeks on end is a vacation. I'm surrounded by people, most of whom are disgusting. Let's face it, folks. There are a large portion of people in this world that are gross people. It's not a bad thing to admit that. It's a statement of fact. It's not an opinion, it's a statement of fact. They are gross people, and those people are sharing living quarters with you, and you have to go to your assigned meal time, and you stay in a room that's the size of, I don't know, my bedroom I'm in right now, and you have to put 3 people in there. It's not ideal. The cruises to me just aren't like they're going to these fake islands. You're not actually going to the real countries. Could you imagine a cruise to actual Jamaica? A cruise to actual Jamaica. You know how quickly those people would run back onto the boat? They probably wouldn't even step off the boat to begin with. A cruise to actual Jamaica. it would be it would never go again. I can promise you that. Nobody would ever set sail again. I just don't understand why the cruise line industry is not advocating for this more. And the cruise line industry, and such as the airline industry, took a hit when the pandemic first started. So they should be hoping that a strong middle class and people who think they have a lot of money are there, because people love to flaunt money. And there's the old saying, "It ain't tricking if you got it." We go up to $25 an hour, there'd be a lot of tricking going on because people ain't got it. You know what I mean? But so I was talking to my sister today, and she sent me a video, some Instagram filter. She likes to do these dumb Instagram filters. Um, I don't do them, but then again, I have a life. And she sends me this one. It was what's the Last Supper, and apparently it's a face swap, but she's on every other person in that picture other than Jesus. So, and because she's a great performer and the great actor that she is, she really committed to the role. So she had some low mumbling. She had some low mumbling to coincide the video. She was like, a lot of this, I'll do it. Please don't be grossed out. And that went by as her face was face scanned onto these other people in the Last Supper. And I said to her, "That was disgusting and spine tingling. Please never send me a video like that again." And she goes, "It's good to know we share the same gift of misophonia." Misophonia? It sounds like some Chinese dish. I don't know. Misophonia. I've never heard of this before. I looked it up just now. And apparently it's fewer than 200,000 people in the United States have it. Essentially, you don't like fidgeting noises, ticking noises, I don't know, you don't like a murmur, you don't like a lip smack, you don't like a gum chewing. And I myself uh, agree to that wholeheartedly. I think that stuff is gross. And now I'm getting self conscious about the way I'm talking in the microphone. It's creeping up behind me. Misophonia. I have really sensitive hearing. That is a fact. So I think that stems from that. When I was a kid, my mom would run the bathwater for me, and I would have to stand outside of the bathroom because when the water was just gushing into the tub and just hitting off the whatever material the tub is made of, that was too loud of a noise for my little ears to withstand. And it got so bad to the point where I had to go get my hearing tested. And they put me in a room, and then behind I don't know, like a glass window or something like that. They're in there and they're playing these beeping noises, and they said like hold a hand up when you can hear a sound and stuff like that. So I must have had ears like a bat or something like that, because I mean I didn't have to get hearing aids, but I think I just have sensitive hearing. I've never liked loud noises. Nothing irks me more than a loud truck. And every joke under the sun has been made about truck guys and motorcycle guys. So I don't want to make any jokes about those guys. I just see no need for that. There's no need to make a joke about them because they're that low. They're that low of a person to where it's just I just scoff at you at this point. And it's just like, okay, if that's what you want to do for fun, then like, okay. That's my attitude all 2021. Okay, you know. Oh, okay. Well, cool, man. You know, that's sort of my attitude for 2021. Maybe it's because I just kept getting kicked in the mouth in 2020. So 2021, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm a wherever the wind blows kind of guy. So I guess that's where my sensitive hearing stems from. But it's good to know I have that gift of misophonia. I hate the ASMR. I hate that. The people eating pickles on camera where they're whispering into the microphone. That is disgusting. And people said they could fall asleep to the whispering. It would feel like a demon is in my ear. How can you fall asleep to some whispering in your ear? I have to sleep with the TV on at full volume to drown out the voices in my head. What do you mean you sleep with somebody whispering in your ear? If anything, that would cause so much anxiety, I would never sleep a wink. I have a hard time sleeping as is, documented. All right. If you shared a bed with me, you know this. All right. I have a hard time sleeping. And for that to go on in the background, no way. There's a lot of weird things people do when they sleep. I don't like a fan. People like to have fans on. They like to have a white noise on. I don't see the point of that. I have the TV on at a very low volume. Very, very low volume. That's the one thing to the future wife out there. I apologize, but we're going to have the TV on. And there's nothing I or you can really do about it. It's just it's one of those things where a great relationship is all about compromising, and that's one thing that I'm not going to compromise on it. So we're going to have the TV on at a very low volume. I need to have it on. It's just the only way I can get to sleep is if I have that background noise. That's just what it is. A lot of people like to sleep when it's cold. I can't sleep at all. I weigh like 165. I have no body weight to produce heat. I hate a cold bed. Hate a cold bed with a passion. I probably would have thrived in the 1700s as somebody in British rule, because they had people. Their job was specifically to lay in the upper echelon of the monarchy's bed to warm it up before they got in it. That's fact. And me being a lord now, because my sister bought me some land in Scotland, which could be a total phony thing, but I don't care. Next time I go to the DMV, I'm totally putting on my driver's license and putting it on all my plane tickets. I don't care. Documented. Lord Miller. I'm still not going to look poorly upon you peasants, but Lord Miller, treat me with some respect. So I'm starting to think like all animals only freak out and do animal stuff when they know someone has a GoPro on. Like they remember that video, the hiker in, I think it was Wyoming. And if you're in Wyoming, listen to this. Shout out to you. I've been watching a lot of TikToks about your state lately because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you're in Wyoming, let me know and hit me up. Download the show. Hit me up. I want to learn more about the state. I think it's really gorgeous. But that's beside the point. So you had that guy. He was just hiking, and then that like mom cougar was behind him, slapping the ground like that white basketball player on defense, letting him know he's there. It's like, this is my turf. The cougar was freaking out, making a whole show of it. Show off cougar, a show off cougar. I haven't seen this many show off cougars since I was in Tampa, Florida. So I'm starting to think like the wild animals only make an appearance when they know someone's wearing a GoPro. You know what I mean? Is that like zoo tryouts for these animals? Like they just talk about becoming a caged animal with an easy life. They know their only shot at getting notoriety in the streets is to go crazy on camera. Like I imagine the cougars just doing cougar stuff. You know, they have a poster of the Central Park Zoo in their little cave, and they lie awake at night and they pray for the chance to get noticed. Her parents think she's crazy, but this is her dream, to be a big city cougar. Is that the theme to Madagascar also? Am I just ripping the theme to Madagascar? First one, hilarious. I don't remember anything about the other ones. I remember watching the Penguin movie. I think I watched the Penguin movie. But bears are bigger show offs than cougars. I freak out watching videos of bears. I like bears. I think they're pretty animals, but they terrify me. Bears will rip your face off, no questions asked. Bears are very aggressive creatures. They say they're scared. Like growing up in West Virginia, the black bears, the state bear of West Virginia, and West Virginia might also be one of the only states where we know like every little thing about the state. So like state bird is cardinal. I think the brook trout is the state fish. The state insect is the monarch butterfly. I think there's a I don't know. There's a bunch of other stuff. I'm forgetting things, but I lived in Pennsylvania for a couple years. Give me a break. But no, bears are the biggest show offs of all, and I'll watch these videos again, like out in Wyoming or Montana or somewhere where I feel like bears just have more population than actual people. They freak out. So all these hunters go out there and they refuse to shoot the guns at them. They just like make that hey, hey, hey noise, like they try to like scare them. You know what I mean? And the bears always like come charging at him, and some guy's like, hey, 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 like trying to make himself look big and scare the bear. I don't feel like that would work. The bears will literally, again, rip your face off. And I'm watching, like, I can't watch people fight humans. I can't watch people fight other humans. Like, people used to send me World Star hip hop stuff all the time, and I just can't watch that because it's unrelenting. I freak out. I literally cannot watch that. People will get like their face bashed in and will be bleeding profusely, and people will continue to kick them. I just can't watch that. Like, watch what one man does to another man. It's disgusting. I cannot watch that. I will watch a bear charge a human, though, any day of the week because that's the bear's turf. The bear is doing bear things, and the humans probably just having some dispute over money, very arbitrary things. And so these bears are fighting over turf, and I would like to watch that. So I always freak out, and I'm always saying the same things. So like a hunter or a fisherman or somebody or an outdoorsman will be standing there trying to make themselves look big, and the bear is charging at him, and he's just going like, oh, 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 oh. And I'm like, you have a gun. Use the gun. I can't watch this. It's like watching a horror film. Remember that movie where the guy got ripped up by the bears? I don't remember the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. It was mid 2000s. I went to the Regal Cinema and saw it in the headline. I didn't go inside, but I saw it. It exists. I have to watch that movie later. You know? You have a gun or a knife. Use it. It's like watching a horror film when the girl trips in the woods. Just use it. Like use your axe or whatever you had. For some reason, that like noise that they're making works sometimes. And they live to tell the tale and they live to hunt again. It makes no sense to me. That tactic would absolutely not work if you came face to face with a specific type of bear. And I know this because I was in Boy Scouts, so I have experience with the outdoors. There's one type of bear where if you made that noise, it would not work. And that type of bear is a polar bear. A polar bear would dismantle you for fun, no questions asked. Polar bears are intense. Polar bears, they mostly eat seals. So if you go up there and you take a trip to the Arctic and you get frozen in your tracks by a polar bear, the bear starts charging at you, and now your bear instinct kicks in, and you start going, oh. The thing is going to think, this is a weird looking seal. I'm just going to go and eat that. So don't make the noise at something that's main source of food also makes the noise. It's over. It's curtains for you. The thing about polar bears, I keep thinking about this now I'm talking about it. Like, how did they even get there? You know? I hope the ice caps never melt. Because if those things got loose and they became acclimated with the climate and they migrated here, it'd be over. They would run it all. They're vicious creatures. They remind me a lot of Vikings. They live in the super cold weather. They will mercilessly destroy any enemy that gets in their way. And they are super white. And that's my story about bears. That's some other material I'm working on. Again, thank you guys for listening to the show today. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. But every time I go through my notes, I have like a whole 5 minutes about bears or something stupid. But, okay. Okay, I could save that for another time. I do want to say this, though. So hopefully this show gets big enough to where I get some notoriety about my microphone skills. And no, actually, you know what? I just want the audience to get big enough to where I can just do this. Every Saturday I watch my favorite British soccer team, Norwich City. They're in East Anglia. They're in Norfolk County, way in the eastern part of England. And they're a small club. They're owned by the Martha Stewart of England. It's a really cool team and a really cool story. They're the top team in the second division of England, and they're likely to get promoted to the top division of England. EPL is the best soccer league in the world. And I like to watch that, and I'm kind of sported out. Like, I don't really watch a lot of sports right now, but I will every Saturday morning, I will watch my British soccer team. And these guys on Talk North City, and it's a fan channel I've been watching. It's the only sports fan channel I follow on YouTube or any, I don't know, social media platform. And I've been following them for years, since like 2014. And so these two guys, Jack and Chris, they both have the same last name, Reeve. I don't think they're related. And they'll get on there and they'll tell us to timestamp the game, and they will commentate the game, but they'll mostly make funny remarks and be goofy as the game is going on. And so people are like, oh man, I hate these so-and-so announcers they say this a lot in American sports. They're like, all these announcers suck. I would love to, one game a week, exclusively baseball, because that's what I know the most about. Like, say it's a Friday night and I got nothing going on and I plan it. I would love to like call the baseball game as it's going on. I think that would be fantastic. I can totally picture it now where I'm just like, high drive to center and it's gone. And that's that's Santiago Dominguez. That's his third home run of the season. Now, I won't be one of those boring sports baseball guys. Baseball is very monotonous, and you see a lot of the same thing over and over again. So it gets to July and August, you just hear a ground ball to second, this game's over. Like, I'm not going to be doing that type of stuff. I'll be joking around, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I think it'd be fun to live stream a game do some commentary on it, and maybe I'll bring another guy in and he'd be the color guy. I'm the play-by-play. They can be the color guy. I know what I'm doing. Let me do the game. You know, people are always like, "Oh, these announcers don't know what they're talking about." I know what I'm talking about. So there, that answers that. That checks that box. So again, yeah, I'll figure that how to do that when baseball season arrives. Hopefully, the audience is vast by then, and we can get some people in there. It'd be a lot of fun. If you're not a sporting fan, well, I don't talk about sports a lot, so I guess just listen to old episodes. Either way, thank you guys for listening, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Francoswood_. Again, tell people about the show. It's growing, folks, rapidly. So thank you guys very much, and I hope you have a great day.